Welcome back, coders, to another animated explainer. Today, we're literally turning you into medical detectives. You know, in the complex world of ICD-10-PCS coding, your absolute superpower is nailing those root operations. It's not just about matching words, it's about uncovering the actual clinical intent hiding inside that physician documentation. So grab your magnifying glass because we're going to crack the case on selecting the right root operations for inpatient procedures. Okay, let's run through our agenda real quick. First, the anatomy of a PCS code. Then, essential guidelines and conventions. After that, we're decoding the clinical intent, diving into some root operation case studies, and finally, avoiding those common coding pitfalls. Section 1. Anatomy of a PCS code. Let's start right at the foundation. PCS codes are incredibly precise, right? Every single code has exactly these 7 alphanumeric characters, no exceptions. You've got your section, your body system, and then character number 3, our main suspect today, the root operation. Then comes the body part, the approach, the device, and a qualifier to wrap it all up. Oh, and here's a massive pro tip for you. Those first 3 characters, they actually let you bypass the index completely and jump straight to the PCS tables to build the rest of your code. It's such a huge time saver. Now, jumping over to character number 6, the device. This gives us our first real clue. Whenever you're staring at a chart, you got to ask yourself one simple question. Is it meant to stay? That's your ultimate litmus test. So, if the material is literally intended to stay in or on the body after the surgery is over, yes, that's a device. We're talking stents, grafts, prosthetics, fixation devices, the whole shebang. But what about sutures or temporary drains or radiologic markers? Nope, they do not make the cut. If it's not meant to stay, it's not a device. Simple as that. Section 2, Essential Guidelines and Conventions. Now, these rules aren't just red tape. They actually give you total power to interpret the evidence. Look at Guideline B3.1a. The big takeaway here is that you absolutely cannot just guess based on whatever word the surgeon scribbled down. You have to weigh their documentation against the official table definition of that root operation. That table is your single source of truth. And Convention A11, this is where you get to flex your detective skills. It basically says the doctor doesn't have to use our exact coding terms. You are fully empowered to translate their clinical jargon into PCS definitions. So if they write partial resection, you don't need to waste time querying them. You know that correlates perfectly to the root operation excision, and you can just code it. Hey, before we start grouping these intent categories, do me a huge favor. Hit that like button on this animated explainer and subscribe to the channel. We post daily medical coding updates to keep your skills sharp. Also, jump into the comments and tell me what coding topic or specialty our detective agency should tackle next. All right, Section 3, Decoding the Clinical Intent. Every single case we look at really boils down to asking, what was the provider actually trying to accomplish? It helps so much to group these technical terms into plain English buckets. Think about it. If the goal is taking out all or part of a body part, you're looking at excision, resection, detachment, or extraction. But if they're just taking out solids, fluids, or gases, that's drainage, extirpation, or fragmentation. What if they're altering a route or changing a diameter? Then you're in the realm of restriction, occlusion, dilation, or bypass. Framing the intent like this makes the whole decision-making process so much less overwhelming. Section 4, Root Operation Case Studies. It is time to put your anatomy and physiology knowledge to work. Let's crack open some real-world case files. Case 1. The doctor places a ventriculoperitoneal shunt. Now, a basic software encoder might just see catheter draining fluid and spit out drainage or insertion. But you know the anatomy. Cerebrospinal fluid naturally flows through the ventricles to be reabsorbed. This shunt is literally creating a new route, so the true clinical intent, it's a bypass, for sure. If you just blindly coded the word shunt, you'd be way off. Okay, how about a ureteral stent placed because of a kidney stone obstruction? An encoder sees stent and immediately thinks drainage. But hold on, the stone is blocking the flow, right? We're opening up that ureter to let urine pass. We aren't just draining, we are actually dilating the ureter, so dilation is absolutely the right call here. Next file, a tracheal stent placed for tracheomalacia. The software might push you toward dilation or insertion, but remember the pathology. Tracheomalacia means weak cartilage. We're putting that stent in to physically hold the trachea open and keep it from collapsing. And anytime you are reinforcing or supporting a body part, that points you straight to supplement. Last case file. A surgeon does a fulguration on an oozing bladder wall. Encoders love to see fulguration and automatically scream destruction. But why are they doing it? To stop bleeding. They are achieving hemostasis. Whenever that's the primary goal, you have to choose control, not destruction. Section 5, Avoiding Common Coding Pitfalls. Let's talk about the traps that lead to instant claim denials so you can steer clear of them. The absolute biggest pitfall? Blindly trusting your encoder software. Never, ever just accept an auto-suggested code without verifying the actual clinical documentation. Software just matches words. It doesn't understand context. You are the detective, not the computer. Here is a golden rule to stick on a Post-it note right now. The second a device is used in a procedure, you can immediately cross repair off your list. Just rule it out entirely. It's a fundamental PCS rule that will save you so many headaches. And don't mix up replacement and supplement. This one trips coders up all the time. Replacement literally means a body part is taken out and swapped for something new. Supplement, on the other hand, means the original body part stays right where it is and we're just adding a device to help it out. Keep those straight. And back to our bleeding case. Always remember the hemostasis rule. If the main goal of the procedure is just to stop bleeding, it really doesn't matter how aggressive the surgical technique sounds, you code it as control. At the end of the day, you have to move past just naming the tools the surgeon used and really grasp the physiological goal of the surgery. When you make that mental shift from naming to understanding, your coding accuracy is going to go through the roof. So let me ask you, are you just naming things or are you truly understanding the intent? Drop your thoughts and maybe a few of your own coding war stories in the comments below. And hey, if you found this animated explainer helpful, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel for your daily updates, and I'll see you on the next case. Happy coding!